Hey everyone, MrTass here at the MrTass 3D Print Shop. I am excited today because I got a new 3D printer. And not just any new 3D printer. This is a printer that was literally just released last week. It's from Elegoo called the Centauri Carbon. It is a enclosed printer, fast speeds. I'm really excited to get into it because I've loved my Neptune 4 Plus from them. But let's go ahead and just run through what the Centauri Carbon is, and then we'll get to the unboxing. So you can see here they've got a nice little video going on. It is a CoreXY 500mm velocity, 20,000 acceleration printer there, you can see. There are talks that it will in the future support possibly an AMS system, which is the multicolor system. So looking forward to that. But it should be ready to print right out of the box. We're going to test that. Full auto calibration, has a camera built into it, so it can record its own videos and you can also monitor it, I believe. The build volume is the same as the Bamboo at 256, 256, 256. So not too small, but not too large, but it'll do. You can see it's a little building there. Should be able to work with pretty much every material, 320 degree hot end. Comes with a hardened steel nozzle, which will work well for the materials. 110 degree heated bed, looks like nice even heating. Cooling fans, the enclosed case, up to 60 degrees Celsius in chamber, so you can print some of those more difficult materials like ASA, ABS that require a little more temperature control. Says printing right out of the box. Auto leveling, auto Z offset, auto vibration calibration, and auto pressure advanced calibration. So we'll get into all of that with the camera, real-time monitoring, and recording videos with time-lapse. This is interesting to me, this even more carefree. So it has an auto filament unloading, which most do, but this one looks like it cuts it because it does run through a feeding tube versus like a direct drive. So I'm curious to see how well that works for like TPU and things that way, which can have a little trouble feeding through. Has a fan self-check, self-automatic belt tensioner, the classic filament detector, built for speed. And yeah, I'm really excited to check this thing out. And I was lucky enough to get one of the first batches that they had in the US. Other people are going to be waiting until like March, May, even June to get theirs. And so yeah, that's the printer in a nutshell. Flexible plate, ultra user friendly, OTA upgrades, 8 gig ROM, dual band Wi-Fi, LAN enabled, filament on the side. It gives you a file, I think, for a filament waste bin, which that's important if they do have the AMS. Little nozzle bed wiper built in, magnetic little front cover, so hopefully it's easier access. A touch screen, 4.3 inch touch screen, transparent glass doors, filters. I mean, it looks like a high quality printer. Oh, and the price. It's freaking $299 for this thing. That's ridiculous for what this printer is. So let's go ahead and get into the unboxing of it, because that's what I'm excited about. So right here, the Centauri Carbon. Woo! Big old box. Let's open it up and see what we got. Just in case, recommend keeping the box and packaging for 30 days in case you need to return or exchange. How nice. Alright, so make sure we can see everything. So foam on top. Whoa, that little pretty one. Oh, that's a glass. Must be the glass from the top. So that's that right here. Here. Foam. So, as you may or may not know with my channel, I've been running the 3D print shop since 2021. Mostly making Quest and VR accessories, but also take custom orders, printed game board pieces, and all different things. So I'm excited to use this for that, particularly, and whatever else I have done up. But another piece of foam here, another foam in the box there. Oh, look at you. That down. Ready to come out again. Another little foam. Alright, I think we gotta get it out. You know what? More foam. Well, we definitely have packaged this thing well. More foam. You know what? I can't guess. More foam. One more. There we go. Alright. Let me close out of the website because that thing just eats away CPU resources. So I'll also be building a new PC here soon. So this thing was listed at 45 pounds for the shipping. So can manhandle it if I have to. Okay, that's it for the box. Put that aside. Take this around. That's the front. Voila! Have ourselves a printer. There she goes. Here I am. Alright, so let's see. We've got some more plastic covers here. Oh, that's the cable. I love feeling plastic off a new item. Nice glass door. curious if that contains some sound noise in the that side. PLA specific plate on fine texture plate isn't ideal due to enhanced adhesion, which may cause difficulty. So this is textured PEI side. Go up here. Texture. And on the smooth side, and it says PLA specific plate adhesion, optimized for PLA printing on the smooth side. And the texture can work for PLA, TPU, ABS, PETG, carbon fiber, things that way. So A and B side, different. And I'm sure you can get other plates. You could probably even use the bottom plates if you want something specific that way because it is the same size. And with the auto Z height adjustment, it should adjust. But I think there are also memory settings, so you can set it if it's a thicker plate to know what the settings are. So where do we begin? We got one little zip tie in here. And get some snippers for that. Snip. Okay. Release the Kraken. Alright, it's got a little chain piece here, like the plastic kind of chain to protect the tube. Oh, it is definitely magnetic front. So yeah, so I want you to see that. I'll bring it up on the table here once we're in just a minute. We'll set it up on the table. But let me finish unpacking everything, and then we'll get this going. So in the box, we've got power cable. We've got the screen, filament spool for the outside edge here, scraper blade, glue stick, tiny little bit of filament maybe. Looks like a thumb drive, the cleaner, and some different things that way. And that's it for that box. There we go. And then this is the top glass plate. So it's got a front glass and a top glass. And so this just sits on top. When printing low temperature filaments such as PLA and flexible filaments, please remove the top cover. So it suggests removing this top cover when you're printing PLA, when you don't need to keep the bed chamber warm. That's why it comes off of there easily. Alright, and we got our user manual here, user guide. Took out all the stuff. Looks like we need to unlock the heated bed. That's important to know. Install the touchscreen, do a device self-check, and then get to the first printing, which we'll get to in a minute. You're going to get a user manual. Inside here, printer specifications, build volume, speed, software specifications, and there should be, the Elegoo software has all the different profiles for different material use, but basically setup and operation. So we'll get into all of that. I'm going to get this set up, I'm going to get it on a table, and we'll be right back. Okay, we got it set up, it's on the table, and plugged into power. I've got a white spool over here, because it's all black in there, so white will hopefully show up a little better. So I powered it on, go English. Yep, it tells me to remove. There were 3 bolts here locking the build plate down. So those are removed. Ensure the chamber is free from foreign objects. Hit confirm. And now it's going to do a self-check process. So we'll see how that goes. Not too loud. One thing that would be nice is if there were like a little latches or a lock or something that you could put the top glass panel on the side so you don't lose it. It'd be perfect on this side with a little, just a little bracket that it locks into, so then it's always available when you need it, since it's not like a flip up top to it. But I mean, if I close these doors, that's pretty quiet. It gets really quiet actually once you close the doors there. You don't hear that fan nearly as much. Just let this continue heating up here. Alright, we finally finished our self-check. Yay! Confirm. Okay. So, now let's see. We've got a light, which I've heard the LED is not quite as bright as you may want it to be. Digital graphic here. Nozzle temp, Wi-Fi. Okay, so I will need to get this connected up to the internet because it wants to do a firmware update before we actually print. So we're going to just go through the settings and then I'll pause, I'll update the firmware, and then we'll get into an actual print. So you've got fan controls here, auxiliary fan, silent, normal, ludicrous. Ludicrous on the auxiliary fan. That's ludicrous. Normal, silent. Ludicrous speed! Alright, Spaceballs. The model fan, that one there, case fan in the back. So let's prepare here, so you can adjust the Z heights. XY gives you the different things. Extruder, oh, you can so feed in the filament. We'll look at that. We'll go over to extruder, and you got a load and an unload here. And the nozzle temp set to 250. This is local files, USB drive, print history. I am going to grab that USB drive and I'll plug that in here to see what files are on there. Go into settings, you can adjust the brightness, turn the screen on or off, language, Z offset, you can adjust here, but again it should be doing its own thing there. You can export the log, time zone settings, which that should set once I get internet. But I need to see what my UTC is, because that's not, I think we're -5 here, just to verify. Check for updates once I get it on the Wi-Fi. Restore factory settings. Power loss recovery, that's good. Filament detector is on. Network, we'll get you connected. Minute, serial number, build plate, camera. Okay, so camera, you can record time-lapse photography, so we're going to do that. We're definitely going to do a time-lapse with whatever prints we do, and I'll put it up here with it. And then we've got automatic leveling, PID tuning, one quick self-check, which that took a long while, and input shaping. So those are all of the available menus and settings. I'm going to pause this. We're going to update the firmware. I'm going to plug in, and we're going to see what we can do and get to. So give me just 1 minute here. Okay, I was able to complete the firmware update. It was actually really easy. I just connected to my Wi-Fi, went in, checked for firmware update, and went from version 1.1 to 1.1.4. Apparently fixed some slicer type issues. Let's go here, folder, USB drive, model, 3D Benchy, and smooth plate, time lapse. Says it's going to take 15 minutes. Here we go. And I am printing with PLA Plus at the moment from Freemover /GST3D/IIID Max. Alright, looks like we're actually going to start printing now. White level the bed again. We'll have to see if I can change that setting. So we're about to get some more poop. Alright, here we go. The actual start of the 15-minute benching. So again, you've got the internal camera on the left, a secondary camera on the right, the main camera on the unit itself. And then I will see, we'll see what the time-lapse one looks like when that's done too. But it should be recorded. Now, mind you, the table that this is on is very rickety and wobbly. It is probably not the appropriate table to use for a 3D printer. So, let's see what happens. And voila! Our 15-minute benchy is complete. One other thing I had meant to mention on this, the tray goes in really cool because there's these grooves on the back here. So the build plate just sits in perfectly every time. Like, there's no fiddling, am I aligned, am I where am I? But let's go ahead and see if that will, yep, just releases. Alright, let's take a look at our little benchy here. So again, this was FreeMover PLA Plus. I didn't do anything else with settings, I just told it to print. You can see there, CT 3D.xyz. I mean, overall, that's a pretty clean benchy. Very smooth on the sides here. Sort of excessively smooth. Nice on the top. Now there is the stringing on the inside, but a little fire. Clear that right up. So, see there, we just spit a little fire into her. Oh no! We dropped our benchy! Come back, benchy! Don't leave us! All alone! Alright, back to our benchy here. So yeah, quick little flame cleanup there. And she's good to go. There we go. You can just brush off the little bits. That's a nice benchy. Alright, benchy. Make sure I'm done. So we'll see if we can get this to be smooth. Here, I'll turn a little more light on. There we go. Benchy examination. I mean, I'm impressed. That was nice. Benchies can take like an hour or two. Now it does, on the printer, you can see here, the pre kind of go through. And I'm curious if this is going to try to level every single time that it wants to do something, because I don't want it to level every time, so I'll have to go in and check the settings for that. I am now going to load up some black filament. I'm going to print out the tray, the back tray, hopefully, if I can find that file in here, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to pause, and I will record that one with the time lapse also. So give me a second while I get everything changed and loaded for that. So we should go here. We're going to change out the filament. Extruder. Unload. So let's see what happens when we unload. So unload, it's going to cut the filament. Don't know why it needs to level the bed for this, but whatevs. A lot of bed leveling going on with this here, buddy. Okay, unload the filament. Unload complete. So now, okay, so out. I'm just wheeling it back. There we go. And it definitely did. It snipped it. See there, straight edge. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna set that aside. Little filament. Okay, completed. So now we're going to go back here and go to USB, models, 3D Benchy, CC Mini. No, I don't want the box. Back. Eiffel Tower, no. There it is. Mini poop bucket. Time lapse is on. Ah, there we go. I can turn off level here. And now we can print. So this is going to take 2 hours to print. I don't think I have enough filament loaded. So we'll test the filament feature also. So this is saying it's going to take 2 hours. I turned off leveling. So I'm not going to time lapse record this one, but I will come back and show you the results once it's done. Okay, the print has finished. It took 1 hour and 58 minutes. And again, this was the disposal tray, the poop tray. So I'm going to lift that off. And this was printed with PLA, high-speed PLA from Freemover. And I haven't had a lot of success with it. It's printed some weird edges. So I'm curious to see how this came out. And here it is. Let's see if we can get some light on this puppy so you can see it better. There we go. All right. So it actually printed very smoothly. I'm actually with the high speed. It had weaker layer strength, but it actually, the Elegoo did a remarkable job. You can see the bottom there. Very smooth. Nice, clean. I think a little touch up of fire on this puppy. We'll just clean her up here. There we go. Text came out nice. Centauri Carbon there. A little cleanup on the inside. And I think that's going to work. It's a cute little lock. Yeah, it made its own little mini carbon. So I will put that on the back of the device. And then when I was looking around there in the settings, there's actually another thing that I want to print. So if we go to the folder and we go back to the USB drive model, there's a CC Mini, and then it's not on here, but I found on the website there's a CC latch. So it looks like they made a model to hold the door. So I'm going to download that, and we're going to give it a shot and try printing that. And I'm also going to show you the software. So give me just 1 second here. We're going to load in. It had a G-code file and it had an object file. So I want to see if I can import the G-code directly here. So I'm going to copy the G-code. All right, so that's there. So I should be able to find this now on the device or just tell it to print. I will need to load some new filament though in order to do that. But let's also then now go look at the app software. Here. So this is the Elegoo slicer. You can also use Cura profiles to open a project. File, import an object, and then downloads. And I want to import the cover holder. So there's the cover holder. So like I said, it would have been nice if this had cover holders on the side. Sure enough, they have a file for it. You can go grab it and you can print it just like the waste bucket. And what that does is those 2 handles there go on the side of the printer here. There's little bolts here. And so once they're on there, then you can slide the door along the side, like I said. So this is going to be perfect, I hope. So I am going to slice these up just out of curiosity. So with the default settings, Elegoo PLA, Rapid PLA Plus, Elegoo brand, 0.2. I'm curious on the speed. Others. Yeah, I'll need to go in and just check the different settings, but I'm just curious what print speed it's printing at. So I'm used to Cura, but let's go ahead and click on Advanced. There we go. Now we can see speed. So with the Rapid PLA Plus option, first layer is 50, layer infill 105, outer wall 160, inner wall 200, top surface, so up to 250 on the print speed. So that's pretty good. Travel speed at 500, acceleration, and everything that way. So I'm curious, if I choose just normal PLA Plus, does it change these speed settings? And it doesn't. Speed settings look to be about the same. Now, what if we do, and that's, okay, so standard, strength, draft, so they have different system presets there too. Let's see what happens if we select ABS. With ABS, all those settings stay the same, but let's see about, what about the temperature? Where's temperature? Different settings here, gaps, ironing, wall, strength. So it would definitely take a little getting used to an adjustment here. Speed, support, multi-material, boost prevention, flush options, interlocking, skirt, rim, special mode, G-code. So I don't see temperature for the settings here. Oh, that's it there. So I'm not sure where temperature is stored. Bed type, so carbon for nozzle, flushing, I've got it set to advance, and then you can do extra draft, so that probably all changes the speeds and the fine details. Generic, let's
change much in the way of print settings here: overhang, speed, acceleration, jerk, advance. And I don't know where temperature is being controlled. So I would have to dive into that a little better. But you can preview the print, you can check your printer connection, you can send it, and the model. So that's the software. Might just end up going with Cura and replicating the settings out of the Elegoo software into my own profiles. But I'm going to get these things printing. And my general thoughts of the device: it's a great device for $299. You can't go wrong. I don't think you can go wrong. I mean, enclosed, it prints fast, it prints clean. Yeah, I'm very, very, very happy and very surprised at the price point for it. So I would say go get it. I'll leave an affiliate link if I can to Amazon if it's an option. Otherwise, go out to Elegoo's website, pick up one for yourself. And until next time, thanks. Bye.